So not only did every single boy and girl go home with a gift from the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Cardinals, they also went home with this activity tracker. Now, amid the extreme Arizona heat, bees tend to get a little more aggressive. So what do beekeepers do all around the world? They get smoke and they blow it over them just like this to calm them down. Now, if you do find yourself in a situation where you have been stung by a bee, you need to calmly leave the area, pluck the stinger out, get some ice cold water to run over top of it, and if you need to, you can take some Benadryl as well. Now, this is a huge series for Arizona. They're still very much in the wild card hunt. They're only 4.5 games back, but the talk of the town is the return of Christian Walker, who spent 8 seasons with the Diamondbacks. Now, Eddie's team makes around 30 to 40 transactions per year, and Eddie himself has sold over $200 million in real estate. And he has about 10 investors that makes all of this possible. If you pass by Darth Vader and a legion of stormtroopers in downtown Phoenix, don't worry, it's only cosplay. And I'm doing my best to compete with this suit. Okay, I don't want to draw too many conclusions, but we can speculate a little bit. ASU's Colin Potter's probably going to get drafted late in the first round of the NHL draft this weekend. Now, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they don't have a pick till pick number 64, okay? And they lack prospect depth. So I was actually talking to Shane Doan, who works for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is what he had to say about the 5'10" left winger. Republicans are getting closer to the finish line with the big, beautiful bill. The Senate narrowly approved the bill in a 51-50 vote that required Vice President J.D. Vance to break a tie. It's an extension of President Donald Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The legislation will make most of the cuts permanent while increasing spending for border security, defense, and energy production. Now, it's estimated the bill will cut Medicaid by roughly $1 trillion over the next decade. The bill could also end health care for around 16 million people and cut retirement homes by 25%. Now, President Donald Trump hopes to have this bill passed by the 4th of July. Arizona's home to over 1,300 species of bees, and for the most part, they're not very aggressive. So naturally, what did I have to do? I had to go to a bee farm, I had to put on a bee suit, and see how we can coexist with these creatures.
They're like, I'm not moving. Excuse me.
They may be small, but they can certainly be deadly. It's estimated that it would take 1,100 bee stings to kill an average adult. While experts say that kind of reaction is rare, for some, it can turn quickly.
Very few people in the grand scheme will have that anaphylactic reaction. But for those that do have that allergy, it is a very serious thing.
According to the CDC, between 2011 and 2021, on average, 72 people die per year in America from hornet, wasp, and bee stings. But more often than not, the danger starts when we panic, not when the bees do.
Usually if you see them and they're out and about, they're just out foraging. They don't deem that you're a threat unless you're trying to swat at them, step on them, things like that.
Now, amid the extreme Arizona heat, bees tend to get a little more aggressive. So what do beekeepers do all around the world? They get smoke and they blow it over them just like this to calm them down. Now, if you do find yourself in a situation where you have been stung by a bee, you need to calmly leave the area, pluck the stinger out, get some ice cold water to run over top of it, and if you need to, you can take some Benadryl as well. If you have trouble breathing or have any other health concerns, call 911. But long term, beekeepers hope education will prevent fear from taking over.
We're trying to introduce bees in a non-threatening way, so that people aren't afraid of bees. We need bees for our future, and we want people to find some level of comfort with them.
Bees play a big role in our ecosystem, and with a little bit of caution, knowing how to respond can make all the difference. Now, Connie also mentioned that if you have any bees on your property, don't call an exterminator, call a beekeeper so they can safely remove them. In Phoenix, Koby Mitchell, Cronkite News. The state capitol looked more like a gym on a recent June morning. Representative Teresa Martinez teamed up with the Arizona Alliance of Boys and Girls Club to launch a statewide fitness challenge. And Martinez brought along a special friend.
Champion of the world, Mr. Mike Tyson.
Thank you very much.
Boxing legend Mike Tyson helped kick off the event Representative Martinez believes that his presence will have a positive influence on youth across the valley.
I think just to be inspired by his physical fitness and how he's maintained that, I think it's going to be amazing.
Tyson has inspired many throughout his career, including Jose Beltran. He beat cancer at age 16. Aside from changing his diet and adopting a more active lifestyle, he would watch motivational videos of Tyson to help him keep fighting.
His shifted mentality that he thought he was the best when he comes into any room changed my whole life. You get me? You kind of fake it until you make it.
The statewide fitness challenge is a month-long initiative aimed to push youth towards forming healthier habits and build confidence throughout the summer. So not only did every single boy and girl go home with a gift from the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Cardinals, they also went home with this activity tracker.
Where they're able to track, how many laps they do, how many push-ups, sit-ups, maybe it's how many minutes they dribble a basketball for, just as a way to show their improvement and reward them for actually being dedicated and committed to working out this summer.
And the next steps, take the workout from the Capitol to gyms and community centers across the valley. In Phoenix, Koby Mitchell, Cronkite News. After more than 40 years in Arizona high school athletics and nearly 2 decades, the Arizona Interscholastic Association Executive Director David Hines is stepping down. But before he does, he sat down with Cronkite News reporter Jessica Poole to reflect on the legacy he leaves behind. For the 19th time in program history, the Arizona Wildcats are heading to Omaha for the College World Series. A battle between East versus West, the University of Arizona is set to face off against Coastal Carolina in the first round of the series. This will be a match from 9 years ago when Coastal Carolina beat the Wildcats to win it all. Game 1 is set for Friday afternoon in Omaha. Pick it up in the bottom of the 11th, tied at 4. The bases are juiced for Naylor, and he takes Carlos Vargas' offering deep to right for the walk-off grand slam. Now that's Naylor's first grand slam with the Diamondbacks and his 8th homer of the season, giving the D-backs a much-needed win in extra innings. Naylor's walk-off helped the Diamondbacks snap a 3-game losing skid with the 8-4 win. The D-backs will face the Mariners tonight in the second game of the series.
Welcome to America One.
Sure, we all know goalies are a little weird, but going from slap shots to showings, now that's a plot twist.
There's a giveaway. Jones, what a save by Eddie Lack.
And after a 5-year career in the National Hockey League, that included some signature moments,
Canucks win.
Eddie Lack has gone from the crease to the keys.
You thought you were going to learn about hockey.
And for Lack, there isn't a whole lot of looking back.
I knew, because I heard myself in warm-up before my last game, and I was just like, I knew when I was driving home from that game that I'd played my last game.
That isn't to say the transition from goal line saves at the back door
And a shot by Erickson to stop. Rebound, Paye. What a save by Lack.
to slamming the door on deals was seamless.
It is very different in terms of hockey. You just work mostly with your body, right? Compared to here, it's more with my brain. Bathroom with very large vanities.
But like riding a bike, or in this case, the 2-pad stack, Eddie's transition to luxury real estate came naturally.
I've always been interested in real estate, and I was investing in real estate while I was still playing. So it's definitely something that I was still thinking that I was going to do in some capacity.
But not without some coaching along the way.
Eddie pretty much squatted in my office initially. Now I think he spends more time in my office than I do. He's not the tidiest, so I guess the Swedish are not as organized as the Germans, but that's okay.
Max and Patrick just started, I don't know, 3 years before me maybe, and they've always kind of set my goals for me because I've always wanted to be like them, you know what I mean?
Now, Eddie's team makes around 30 to 40 transactions per year, and Eddie himself has sold over $200 million in real estate. And he has about 10 investors that makes all of this possible.
He's doing a lot bigger projects, he's managing a lot more investors and creating those relationships, which I've always kind of respected because they're very genuine, and Eddie is Eddie through and through all the time.
Hockey gave him a platform. Real estate gave him the next chapter.
I'm thankful for my past, but I'm also excited about the future.
From blocker saves to blockbuster sales,
That's what number one goalies do is.
Black's second act is just as sharp as his first. In Scottsdale, Koby Mitchell, Cronkite News.